My beloved soul, feel embraced by a greater force that understands your fears and dreams. I call you to a place of stillness, for I need to talk to you about that wound. Yes, that one. The one you hide under layers of smiles, strength, and routine. The wound that, in silent nights, still aches with the memory of a word, an absence, a betrayal. You have become an expert in living with it. You built your life around it, as one builds a city around an ancient, painful monument. You learned not to touch it, to look away, to pretend that it does not dictate many of your fears and hesitations. You asked me for so many things, but perhaps you stopped asking me for the healing of this specific wound, believing that it is already a part of who you are, a scar destined to hurt forever. What I'm about to show you next could transform your life, because I came today not just to give you a painkiller, but to perform the surgery. Your coexistence with this pain ends today. What you accepted as a permanent condition, I declare as a season that is concluding. I am, at this very moment, initiating the process of healing the wound that has hurt you for so long. This is not a promise for a distant future. It is an operation that begins now, the moment your soul opens to my word. What you could not cure with time, effort, or forgetting, my grace will cure with the power of redeeming love. Before continuing the message, write this statement of faith in the comments. My healing began in you, Lord. This is your act of lying down on the operating table. It is your permission for the physician of physicians to begin his work. Now, continuing the message, I do not ask you for strength. I ask you only for surrender. Let me touch where it hurts, and trust that the hands that created you are the only ones that can, truly, remake you. My precious soul, with the logic of a heart that learned to protect itself, you might ask, Father, why did you allow this wound to stay open for so long? I want you to grasp my wisdom, which sometimes operates in ways mysterious to your limited sight. Think of an oyster. When a grain of sand, an irritant, invades its shell, it cannot expel it. And that constant irritation, that wound, forces it to do something extraordinary. It begins to cover the grain of sand with layers and layers of a precious substance, nacre, and over time its greatest source of irritation changes into its greatest beauty, the pearl. Your wound, my child, has been your grain of sand. I could have removed it instantly and you would have had relief, but I, in my love for you, chose a more glorious path. I allowed the irritation to stay so that you, in response to it, could produce pearls. Every time the wound ached and you, instead of growing bitter, chose kindness, you created a layer of the pearl of compassion. Every time the memory of betrayal came and you, instead of closing off, chose to trust me again, you created a layer of the pearl of faith. Every time loneliness struck and you, instead of despairing, sought my presence, you created a layer of the pearl of intimacy. Your pain was not in vain. It was your jewelry workshop. I was not absent in your distress. I was by your side, the master jeweler, guiding you in the process of changing your greatest pain into your greatest treasure. Now that the pearl is complete, formed in its beauty and its strength, it is time to, eventually, heal the wound that started it. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, I trust in the Lord. By doing this, you are declaring that you trust the jeweler's process, even when you only felt the irritation of the grain of sand. It is your act of gratitude for the pearl you did not even know you were forming. If this message has touched your heart, and you wish to support this mission, click Super Thanks and help spread words of light, encouragement, and inspiration to many lives. Continuing on, rejoice in your process. Your wound was not your curse. It was your calling. My blessed soul, the surgery begins with cleaning. A wound cannot heal if there is still debris or infection. And the infection that has kept your wound open is bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness. It is the poison you continue to drink, hoping that the person who hurt you will get sick. And this poison has prevented my balm of healing from taking its full effect. Today, with my help, we are going to clean this wound. Forgiveness is your divine antiseptic, and it needs to be applied in two directions. First, forgiveness toward the other. I know it hurts. I know it seems unfair. But forgiving is not a favor you do for your offender. It is the most radical act of self-care you can practice. It is you saying, I refuse to allow your past mistake to continue to be the infection of my present. I will no longer be the jailer of my own bitterness. I hand you and your debt over to God, the righteous judge, and I choose my own healing. And the most crucial forgiveness is the one you need to release toward yourself. You blame yourself for having trusted, for having been vulnerable, for not having seen the signs. And that guilt is the most resistant bacterium which feeds on your shame. My child, hear my voice of absolution. You were not foolish. You were a heart that loved. You were not weak. You were brave. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so now. Thus, you receive more messages of light and inspiration directly to your heart. And before we proceed, let me guide you to something I have prepared to strengthen your faith even more. If you feel you need inner healing, spiritual reconnection, purpose, and prosperity aligned with my heart, there is a 31-day path waiting for you. Each day of this walk was created so I can speak to you more deeply and personally. If you wish to follow this path, the link is in the description and the first pinned comment. Now, let's continue the message. I, your God, am sending you a special sign. The sign you have been waiting for is in this verse, Matthew 6:14, which says, For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Write in the comments, I receive this message and I am blessed, and send love and protection to the person you love, declaring that the freedom of forgiveness is also available to them. If this message touched your heart, show your support with a super thanks and help spread this message of light. Accept my grace and extend this same grace to yourself. My beloved soul, for this new life of healing to be complete, forgiveness is the essential tool. Your wound, as much as I am treating it, cannot heal if you keep poking it with the finger of bitterness and guilt. The resentment you hold is the infection that prevents my work. Today is the day to apply the antiseptic of forgiveness. Forgive those who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve the peace. Forgiving is your act of taking back the power. It is you saying, your mistake will no longer define my story. Your action was a chapter, but it will not be the whole book. I hand it over to the righteous judge, and I choose to move forward. Light. And the deepest forgiveness, and often the hardest, is the one you need to give yourself. You blame yourself for having allowed it, for not having noticed, for not having been enough. My child, that voice of accusation is not mine. It is the enemy's, who delights in seeing you punish yourself for a debt I already paid on the cross. Your imperfection was the exact setting where my grace could be shown. If you were perfect, why would you need a savior? Your mistakes were not your sentence, but your school. And you learned. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, whom you wish to forgive. Visualize each one, send them love, and say, I forgive you and release you. May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. This act of forgiveness done now is the surgical cleaning of your wound. It is the removal of all dead tissue, all infection. And in a clean wound, healing can eventually happen quickly and perfectly. My precious soul, with the wound now cleaned by forgiveness, the next step is suturing. And the threads I use to stitch the wounds of the soul are the golden threads of my truth. Your wound told you lies about yourself. The wound of rejection told you that you are not worthy of love. The wound of failure told you that you are a failure. The wound of betrayal told you that you cannot trust anyone. And those lies became your internal programming, your operating system. Today, we are going to uninstall this software of pain and install my software of truth. To every lie of your wound, I give you my corresponding truth. To the lie, I am not worthy of love, I give you the truth. I loved you with an everlasting love and paid the highest price in the universe for you. To the lie, I am a failure, I give you the truth. In me, you are more than a conqueror, and I change all your failures into testimonies. To the lie, you cannot trust, I give you the truth. I am the eternal rock, the friend who never fails, and my faithfulness is your safe harbor. Your healing is a process of exchange. You give me your lies, and I give you my truths. Start practicing this exchange. Every time a thought born of your old wound comes to your mind, do not fight it. Just confront it with the truth. Say out loud if necessary, "That is a lie of my wound. God's truth about me is." This practice of renewing your mind is what stitches your wound. Every declaration of my truth is a point I give, bringing the edges of your spiritual skin closer, making you whole again. And the scar that will form will not be a scar of weakness, but a line of gold, a testimony of your healing that will make your heart even more beautiful and more valuable. My blessed soul, your healed wound will become your greatest strength. The world teaches you to be ashamed of your scars, to hide them. I tell you to honor them. They are your war medals. They are the proof that you were in the battle, that you were wounded, but that you, with my power, survived and won. Your scar is not a sign of fragility. It is the mark of your resilience. And more than that, your scar becomes your ministry. The pain you experienced and were healed from gave you an authority that no unwounded person can have. You become a healing expert for those who carry the same wound. Your experience gave you the language of pain. You can sit with those who suffer and speak their language. Your empathy, born of your own distress, will be the most powerful balm you can offer. Share this video with 2 dear people who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of love and mutual support together. Leave a comment with a prayer of faith and hope. A simple "Lord, may my scar be a sign of your hope for the wounded," is a prayer that changes your personal story into a universal purpose. What the enemy intended to be your greatest weakness, your vulnerable point, I am changing into your greatest stronghold, your most potent weapon of ministry. Your healed wound does not just make you whole, it commissions you. It anoints you as one of my wounded healers in this broken world. And there is no nobler calling, nor one more like that of my Son, who was wounded for our transgressions so that we could be healed. My precious soul, how do you live, starting today, as a woman whose heart is being healed? Your life changes, your posture changes. You no longer walk with the caution of someone who fears being wounded again. You walk with the confidence of someone who knows that, even if you are wounded, your physician is always on call. Your first practice is gratitude for the scar. Instead of lamenting the wound, start thanking me for the pearl it produced, for the wisdom it gave you, for the ministry it opened for you. Gratitude is what seals your healing and prevents you from becoming bitter. Your second practice is guarding your heart. Having a healed heart does not mean being reckless. It means being wise. You learned what hurts you. Now set healthy boundaries. Step away from situations and people that are toxic to your soul. Your heart is my garden. Do not allow wild animals to enter and trample the new flowers. Your third practice is courageous love. Do not allow the memory of your wound to stop you from loving again, trusting again, opening up again. Your healing gave you the strength, not to close off, but to love from a place of fullness and no longer from lack. Love knowing that your source of love, which is me, is inexhaustible, and that your heart, now mended with the gold of my grace, is stronger than ever. Gratitude, protection, and courage. This is the tripod of your new life. A life not of fear, but of strength. Not of shame, but of glory. My beloved soul, we have reached the end of our time of surgery and the beginning of your new life of wholeness. The process has been initiated. The promise of healing has been released. Together, we saw the purpose of your pain as your pearl workshop. We cleansed the wound with forgiveness, sutured it with truth, and redeemed your scar as your ministry. And you learned the practices for living as the healed, strong woman I am making you. Now, your wound is no longer the center of your story. It is merely the preface that gave rise to the heroine. For my part, I promise you, I will be faithful to complete the work I began. I will continue to apply my balm, to strengthen your scar, to use it for my glory. Your healing is not an event. It is a state of being in which you, from today on, will dwell. Your part, my child, is simply to cooperate. It is to practice forgiveness. It is to renew your mind. It is to walk in your new identity. It is to refuse to define yourself by your wound. Leave this meeting of ours no longer seeing yourself as the broken one, but as the restored one. No longer as the victim, but as the victorious one. Your pain was not in vain, and your healing will be your eternal testimony. Go now and live for the first time in a long time with a whole heart. If this message resonated with you and with your situation, write in the comments, "I am a testimony of your healing." Your words strengthen your faith and also light the way for others who need this light. Share your experiences in the comments. And before we close, I need to guide you to something I have prepared especially for you. I have seen your search for inner healing, for spiritual reconnection, for a new purpose, and for prosperity that comes from my hands. None of this is by chance. When your heart cries out, I open pathways. That is why, through this channel, I have set before you a guided 31-day path, a process where, daily, I can speak more deeply to your spirit. This is not just an ebook. It is a road to restoration, alignment, and growth, created to strengthen your faith, renew your hope, and open doors you never imagined. If you feel this calling, access the link I have left in the description and also in the first pinned comment of this video. Begin this walk of healing, reconnection, purpose, and prosperity today. I will be with you on every page, guiding your steps and illuminating your way. If this message touched your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel to continue receiving my word. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.